I mean, we just heard from Alice about the sort of the real breadth of thematic lures, the sort of the different categories of scams. Just from your personal point of view, what has surprised or shocked you or upset you about what you found out through this exercise?
I found there is a lot of overlap between the thematic laws. It seems that the scammers don't always just use like one kind of particular thing to try and target people. Like they're just, pretending to be the government, but they're also giving you an incentive in that link as well, and they're also, something else.
Yeah, threatening you.
Threatening you. Yeah, right. It seems that there's often kind of multiple things being heaped on to not force, but really incentivize you to click this link for whatever reason.
That's manipulation, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
And I do get this, it does open up a door into a different world that we don't really like to think about sort of deliberate human manipulation, which is actually at the heart of scams and fraud. Let's just, as we're... I've got one more kind of researchy question, and then I want to kind of take the helicopter up a bit and think about what we've learned and what it means. As researchers, we've got to be able to defend our results, which we've spoken about, and getting repeatable results. Are we starting to break through now and get consistent, repeatable results, or is that still a challenge?
It's a good question. So even just this week, we've had some breakthroughs. For targeted groups, we have the golden set. So this is what humans agree is the right answer, the ground truth, which allows us to test Gemini to test the AI against it, and kind of see how well is AI actually performing. And we have a few different agreement metrics, but we're well above 80. It's not a percentage, but essentially 80%, 0.8. Which is really encouraging. It's showing us actually the AI is in strong agreement with what we agree is the ground truth. It's not way off. It's actually giving very reasonable results compared to what we think it should give. And so the goal now is to kind of try to improve the AI so that it gives even better results and matches even more closely with the ground truth. Because then we can fairly safely assume that it's going to match closely with what we think the answers should be for all the data. When we let it loose.
But I think even getting to that stage where you can say it's about this % accurate, or it's we have this level of confidence in it, means it's not just. I think one of the things that is people are anxious about the sort of prolific use of AI. I mean, I was at an event yesterday where they were talking about the use of AI in warfare and about targeting, and the. Just anecdotally talking to other researchers, it's the case that nobody disobeys the AI, right? It's not the human in the loop. It's actually the human as the channel for the instructions from the AI, and that is disturbing. What I'm hearing from you both is that we're saying our ground truth is actually set by humans who have some expertise, have argued with one another, have disagreed with one another, have layered up, have understood, this is how we improve it. And then we say to the AI, this is your instruction set. And we know how the AI is doing, because this is something that's very black box for all of us who aren't on the inside. Is the AI is we are then able to say, actually, we think you can do better AI, right? But also we can defend what we've done and we can be thoughtful about it. Thank you both for taking us through that, because I think, a methodology that's going to end up being a couple of paragraphs, maybe probably in an appendix.
It's been like 2 months of work.
The lived experience that you've been going through, which also creates a lot of expertise, is something that's very difficult to convey in a 3-minute thing on a panel. So thank you for that. But now if we think about what you've been through, let's take a lot of the current anxieties about AI and put them to you. One, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying working with AI?
Yeah. I would say so.
And that's really that was a one-word
answer.
That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like the excitement about it. Should we be scared of AI? You know, there's a lot of anxiety. Put the radio on at any time, the TV. AI. There's a huge amount of anxiety about this technology. What do you say to people who are anxious about AI?
One of my friends the other day in the pub was like, do you know, Alice, like, for someone with your personality type, you're really surprisingly not anti-AI, which I thought was a really funny comment. And I was like, well, yeah, because, I mean, like, all my friends are very anti-AI. And sort of... I feel almost like, oh,
are you betraying them?
Yeah, am I betraying this? I feel like, number one, it would be a bit hypocritical for me to be an AI researcher and then be like, oh, this is a plague on humanity. I also think there's sort of like, I think people are sick and tired of just a kind of a marketing word that they see all the time on LinkedIn. It would just be like, we are now doing AI-powered... blah, blah, blah. And it's just, you know, it's a load of rubbish. And I feel like there's a difference between that very surface level use of it, whereas like we are AI researchers, we are really getting our hands dirty with this stuff. And, you know, I know that, and there's all this, you know, the ethics of the use of AI as a moral harm to society. And I think certainly for the artistic community, I can find very few cases where I'm like, oh, AI's just really like made so everything better. Yeah. It's really, and obviously it's sort of like, well, they switched it on and it just stole everything from everybody, which you can't really come back from.
And stole all of the income streams, so you can really see that. But James, if, you know, should we be scared? What do you say to people who are scared of AI?
I can see why people would be scared of AI, because it's so quickly growing. Like, I don't think any of us really know what's happening tomorrow with AI. You know, new things are coming out every day. And, you know, I can see it. Like, people are saying, you know, can AI take my job? Can AI do the things that I've been trained to do? And, you know, maybe in some cases the answer is yes, AI can do that. But I think also there are parts of humans that are just irreplaceable. And even if AI can be doing the grunt work of going through, like in our case, millions of data points, I think that's just allowing us to do more meaningful work and more interesting work and more creative work as well, because we're letting AI do the kind of grunt work for us, which I think is maybe one of the keys with this, is, you know, not being afraid of AI, but kind of utilizing it and seeing, okay, how can I use this tool to do more interesting things that I enjoy doing.
One of my colleagues the other day said it's like AI won't replace humans, but humans who use AI will replace humans who don't. And which I think can sound like quite a negative thing. But then also sort of going back to what I was talking about earlier, there really are some jobs that it is better and more ethical for an AI to do, like content moderation, which for a human is an unbearable, boring at best, and like completely traumatizing at worst. And it's like, well, we're now living in the world where we're needing content moderation to be done, and if an AI can unburden us of that very unpleasant task, which, as James says, it sort of leaves us free to do not just more interesting things, but kind of better things.
And do you feel that AI is making you more stupid or more intelligent?
More stupid, clearly.
James?
Well,
I think, to be honest, I think it depends how you use it.
You could look. We're all like we're in the best practice zone at the moment, and we're all. I think what you're doing is immensely impressive. I must say, but it is true. You know, our non-best selves can get AI to do a lot of boring stuff for us. Like, oh God, I can't bear to write that
That's
thing.
The thing. I think that culturally we always like to shame ourselves about everything, and we like to shame. There's this perception of like laziness or attention spans are decreasing, which is actually just not a empirical piece of scientific evidence, but it's spoken like it is. And I think there's this assumption that it's making people lazy, it's making people not work as hard. And it's like, well, it's just making them prioritize different things. And it's like, are you really telling me that it is like critical to a human's existence that they sit and slog through 400 academic papers and find all the right quotes? Or like, and if they get an AI to do that in 5 minutes and then say really interesting things with that, and check them and make sure they're all good and supplement it with a bit of their work, you're telling me really genuinely you think that that's not a better use of that person's time? I don't know.
I think I'm waiting for the moment where technology makes us live a life of leisure, which I thought, I thought we should all be on our deck chairs, sitting in the sun, sipping our pina coladas or beverage of choice, and just having a lot of time. But my impression, having sort of gone through a number of these waves, and AI is definitely a very seismic change, is it doesn't make us less busy, it just makes us go faster. And actually that can actually create a lot of anxiety and a sense. So it's not that we're stupid, it's not that we're de-skilling. We're de-skilling for some things, there's that not very many people now who can shoe a horse compared to when that was the form of transport that was prevalent. But there are lots of skills that we will be losing. But I'm listening to both of you and really hearing a lot of skills that we're acquiring in thoughtful use of technology for research. So any final comments? I want to come back to you both when we're unpacking our findings and really getting more into the sort of what is being said. But I really thank you both for sharing the how and some of the challenges. Looking ahead, let's not even do 5 years. It's too long in the distance. How do you think research is going to be changed by these sort of tools?
I think scale is the number one thing for me. It's like you were sort of saying about, it's like breadth versus depth. So for the first time in human history, we can get one machine to do the job of the 70 million people, the population of the UK, in seconds, minutes, and that it's like the Human Genome Project. It's like that it changes a lot of things. It gives you loads and loads of information. But there's no replacement, like you said, for that really in-depth, quality, human research. So I think it will, and also your thing really struck me of like it's making everything faster. That's a kind of moral neutral, not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, but I think it will just there'll just be a lot more stuff, a lot more data points in research.
Thank you, James.
No, absolutely. I agree. And I think that at the end of the day, AI is a tool. And, if we're using that tool to do things quicker, to do things more efficiently, to be more creative, because we don't have to be doing all the grunt work, like I said earlier, I think that in the next few years, like we will be seeing people, new jobs coming out. I think that we'll be seeing people thinking in different ways, working in different ways. I think there'll be an increased freedom. Because people don't have to be doing stuff the same way they used to, and like you said, they can do it much faster. And I'm really interested to see how that shapes up.
Thank you.